Is KLOMBO currently living in the vault, or has the little guy been completely removed? Because from what it seems, KLOMBO's been vaulted. And I know everyone wants KLOMBO back, so here are 21 things that players hate that Fortnite removed. Starting with Spider-Man's web shooters. And I'm sure everyone can agree that this was one of the best mythic weapons of all time. But we also already knew that they wouldn't make it to the next season since they're a collaboration item, similar to the Lightsabers, which didn't make it to the next either. Then, not gonna lie, I think Epic should just make their own version of the web shooters and re-release them, since everyone wants them back. And does anyone know why they removed weather updates? Because tornadoes are nowhere to be found in Season 2. Then it didn't even last a whole season, since they added it about halfway near the end. And I don't get why they removed it either, since it didn't really harm anything. Plus, the whole community had been waiting on them to add weather into the game since Chapter 2. But if I had to guess, they probably removed weather since they added blimps. Then some of you might not have noticed that they removed the weather, but everyone noticed the removal of mobile when it happened. Because this was one of the biggest events to happen in Fortnite history. All due to pay disputes between Apple and Epic Games. And it sucks that iOS mobile players are still stuck in Chapter 2 Season 3, which means they're literally 8 seasons behind. And I'm still sad that mobile isn't going to be returning anytime soon. Another thing is the quad crashers, since we all waited years for them to add these back into the game. And they only added them back for one season. But it does make sense that they had to remove these due to the new vehicles they were adding into the game next season, since now we're looking at cars, tanks, a drivable battle bus, and it doesn't even stop there since according to leakers, we should be getting more mobility. Then if you haven't noticed, they removed a lot of consumables and healing items, because I bet you didn't notice that peppers are gone. You can't find these things anywhere around the map. Then it doesn't even stop there since they removed the spicy version of the chug splashes from the game. And I believe they removed all the items that make you run faster due to the new sprinting feature. Imagine how fast you would run with both. Then something that no one expected to ever be removed from the game is materials, because you can't even build anymore. Then, of course, you have some players that hate that building's been removed, and some others that enjoy that it's been removed. But not gonna lie, I'm one of the players who is actually enjoying the game a lot more without building, and I wish they would leave it that way a little longer, or add a no building game mode to the core playlist. And it would have been good if they were to add Siphon back, since getting third-party can be a pain due to no building. But that being said, I think this is something that Epic doesn't plan on ever bringing back to the core playlist, since they said it made fewer players play public matches. And when they removed this back in Season 8, it had the whole community upset since it made the game so fun and easy. But nothing will ever be worse than the removal of turbo building, because, I'm not even joking, this getting removed was 10 times, if not 100 times worse than building being removed from the game. See, when they removed building, it didn't upset the whole community like the removal of turbo building did. I'm talking about it was so bad to the point where hashtag revert turbo building was even trending #1 on Twitter. Then if you haven't noticed, the pizza party item didn't make it to Season 2 either. And I don't understand why, because it's like they removed all the good consumables. Plus this was one of those harmless items and it wasn't even overpowered. But it could be because of the tactical overshield that they added into the game. And something I'd love for them to bring back sometime in Chapter 3 is the block, because it's been removed for years at this point. I couldn't even imagine how cool some of the locations would look, since this was a spot that used to display different community-created maps. The block was removed for good in the end, and before that, a player put some inappropriate stuff on their map. But I mean, they should just bring it back and then also review the maps before adding them into the game. Then I wonder why the MK7 assault rifle's been removed from the loot pool in Season 2. I'm guessing because this thing would have been too overpowered since players can't build for a week? Then is it only me, or was this everyone's favorite gun in Chapter 3? But there's a chance that it might not be gone forever, since players will have the chance to bring it back with the next funding station. And while on the topic of weapons, we might as well talk about the heavy shotgun getting vaulted as well. Then this, honestly, shouldn't have been removed, since it was perfectly balanced, and the range this thing had was so good. They spent years fixing this gun and made it feel like a whole new shotgun, so I don't get why they did all this for it to only be in the game for 3 weeks. Then it's not like they removed skin refunds or anything, but it feels like they've been removed. Because, come on, Epic, we need way more than 3 lifetime refunds. Like, at least give us 1 refund each new season. I'm sure everyone can agree with me on this, because 90% of the community probably doesn't have any refunds left. And has anyone noticed that the machine pistol isn't in the game anymore? Or have you all been too busy trying to survive without building? Because this is one of those guns that they added in Chapter 1 when they added it into an LTM. Then it returned a few times in Chapter 2, but I don't know if it was an accident or not. They officially re-released it in Chapter 3 Season 1 and removed it within basically no time. We literally waited years for them to release this. Then one thing they removed that made the whole community sad was KLOMBO. Because everyone had love for KLOMBO, since this thing would give you loot if you fed him something, and I know it saved a lot of us from dying since it worked as a permanent geyser. But there still might be a chance that KLOMBO's hiding in this vault, since Fortnite said if anything happened to KLOMBO, Tilted would be removed, and it's still here. And it would be good if they're to place more launch pads around the map, at least until building makes its way back into the game. Because with it not being in the game, we can't place launch pads to rotate around the map since these things take 10 builds to be placed. Then the same goes with the armored walls, and campfires can't even be stocked. And I find it surprising how many items require building. Then some players might be mad that they removed grenade launchers, but I'm sure about half the community hasn't even noticed that these were vaulted. I'm at least sure we all know why these things didn't make it into Chapter 3 Season 2, because I couldn't even imagine how overpowered these would be without building in the game, since, they're already kind of overpowered with building in the game. And I wish Fortnite would bring back Glider Redeploy, at least for a week or something, because this is something that the whole community loved. Then it would have been perfect to have this in the game during the week building's not in the game, since it would save players so much time and save many players from dying to fall damage. Because I bet the percentage of deaths to fall damage went up a ton this week. And one of the most random removals has to be the removal of proximity chat in the Imposters LTM. Because this was one of the best updates for the LTM that players were dying for them to add. But for some reason, Fortnite made a tweet saying that the proximity voice chat in the Imposters playlist has been disabled. And I feel like they will, or at least should, add this back sometime soon. And it would be cool if Fortnite were to add death chat, similar to Call of Duty. But a removal that's even more random than the removal of proximity chat is Fortnite China getting completely deleted. Because I don't know if anyone was expecting them to straight up delete Fortnite China, but this is mainly because Fortnite said they weren't making enough money from it. Plus, it was pretty hard for them to keep up to date there due to China's strict laws. Then it would have been good if Fortnite didn't remove double pump, because you had half of the community who fell in love with this feature even though it wasn't meant to be in the game, since using double pumps almost made it pointless to use an SMG. And you can tell that some of the community does want it to return, since you still have YouTubers trying to find new ways of double pumping. And does anyone know why they didn't remove the updated style of llamas for the time we can't build? Because we can't even trap these things anymore. They run around way too much, then it's already hard enough to eliminate them with building. Alright, now click this video on your screen for good luck.